All right, thanks everyone for joining today. Real quick, we're going to do an overview of 5S Technologies and our current services offerings. We'll touch on a little bit around professional services and then kind of do a deeper dive around our managed services offerings and kind of highlight what those are and how they may fit into your organization. So I'm going to kick us off. My name is Les Roach. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing. And then for the real content, I'm going to hand it over to Ryan Richmond, who is one of our technical account managers here. Real quick, what we'll run through today, who is 5S, kind of an overview of our entire services portfolio, why you might consider partnering with a managed services provider like 5S, and all the different pieces of your infrastructure and IT environment that we can monitor and manage for you. So 5S, we are a regional IT solutions and services provider based in Cary, North Carolina. We've been in business about 8 years, but prior to that, our founders' family was the original founders of Strategic Technologies, also based here in Cary. You may have heard of them. And so our roots are right here in Cary, and we've been providing technology services and sales here in the North Carolina region for going on 30 plus years now. All of our staff are senior technology people, lots of experience around both sales and support and engineering in IT. Our focus is on simplifying IT for our customers, and to do that, we like to focus on kind of the next generation technologies, things that make IT simpler for our customers and their technology teams. Go ahead. Real quick, before I jump in, I did want to share this. This is a big announcement. We sent out a press release about this when it happened back in February, but for the first time this year, 5S Technologies was named to the Channel Company's CRN MSP 500 list, and that recognizes the leading North American solution providers in the area of managed services. So that was a huge award for us. We're very proud of that, and just speaks to the competence and the breadth of our offerings from our managed services team. Real quick, we'll kind of go through what the different solution offerings are. Our VisuScope Data Center, VisuScope Desktop, VisuScope Wireless, our practices around application virtualization, cloud and data center, and then security and protection. So just a breakdown of how we think about services here at 5S. So, one part of our business is managed services. That's ongoing IT support. Basically, with most customers, we work under a co-managed IT model where our engineers here at our NOC, at our office here in Cary, basically become an extension of the IT teams of our customers. We can be that first call support for your users, or we can simply be an escalation point. All of our managed services offerings are completely customizable, and we will custom tailor them to your specific IT needs and your budget. And then the other side of our services business is professional services, and this can be just hourly based or project based. If you have a specific need, we'll work with you to define a solution and then put together a statement of work, estimating the number of hours it would take to complete the project, and then we can work with you to get that done at according to your schedule. And then the last part of the services business is we do assessments, and so a lot of times we'll do these at very little or no cost. just to show our value and our expertise around our practices, and kind of highlight where we could help in your IT environment. Things that we can take a look at are security. We can do a full vulnerability scan of your environment and show you where you may have some issues that need to be addressed. We can look at cloud and potential cloud migration strategies for you, or we can assist with virtualization, whether that's in your data center around your VMware or Nutanix AHV environments, or around application virtualization or desktop virtualization. We have a very strong practice in both of those. And so what an assessment engagement looks like is one of our senior engineers will spend the good part of a day with you and work at collecting information around your environment, and then we'll deliver to you a full report of our findings and our recommendations. Next. So why would you partner with 5S? You know, I kind of touched on this earlier. With our 5S managed services offerings, our engineers become an extension of your team. It's completely customizable. We can monitor and manage anything in the data center, whether that's servers, storage, networking, firewalls, you name it, whether it's on-prem in a colo site or in the public cloud. We can also help around your end user endpoints as well. We can monitor, manage, and secure all of those. We offer remote desktop support, can help with things like patching, and then of course security, right? That's top of mind for everyone these days. Many of you saw the news around the recent Exchange vulnerability. So if you haven't patched that, you know, that's certainly something where we could help. But you can never be too cautious these days for cyber attacks and ransomware. And so that's a big part of what we do, is layering security on top of what you may already have to prevent those type of attacks from your organization. We do it in a predictable cost model, so you know what that support's going to cost you every month. And then again, we're always on. So even when you don't have staff there, if there's an issue, we offer a 24/7, 365 toll-free number for support, where we can engage and assist you with any issues as they come up. Next. And with that, I'm going to kind of pass the torch over to Ryan. He's going to take us through the managed services offerings and spend a few minutes on each one of the different pieces. He is one of our experts. He leads our managed services practice, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. He knows these tools inside and out. So if you do have any questions, you know, we'll be sure to pop those in the chat or raise your hand, and we'll make sure we'll address those as they come. Ryan?
All right, thanks, Les. Yeah, so real quick, looking at the page here, we're just these are kind of the different tool sets that we use and things that we address from a managed services perspective that we're going to look through today. So, you know, I'm not going to necessarily read this off because we're going to go into a little bit more detail on each of these, but you know, VisiScope Data Center, VisiScope Desktop, and VisiScope Wireless solutions, as well as layered security, vulnerability scanning assessments, virtualized desktop applications, as well as business continuity. Les already kind of at a high level mentioned all these, so let's kind of start diving into each of these. So first is VisiScope Data Center. So, you know, this is the only SaaS-based enterprise class hybrid infrastructure monitoring platform, and it's a cloud-based tool that uses only a single collector instead of an agent on each device. So it uses a single collector in each location of your network to help minimize the footprint in your environment. You know, businesses expect IT to provide services on demand, and this gives you a fast deployment and management based on automation. Now, IT environments are complex, fragmented, and distributed, so this gives you delivery of meaningful data and actionable insights for all infrastructure from a single platform. And technology is in a state of constant flux, and you know, this gives you broad compatibility with deployment models and technologies, and it supports over 1,000 different technologies, and it's constantly growing too as far as what it can support. So really what this means is if you look on the right side of the screen, you have this graphic that kind of breaks it down for you. So, you know, VisiScope is equal to an all-in-one tool plus a monitoring service plus 24/7 support. So that's that always-on support that we offer. And breaking that down even further is kind of the scope in the bottom right. Just kind of is the 4 core components of the VisiScope Data Center solution. So we have the install and upkeep. So we're going to be, handling the install and upkeep of the tool. Obviously, we work with the customers to go through the install process of the collector onto one of their VMs, and then we upkeep the tool from there. So any type of updates, anything's done on the back end, you won't even notice it's happening. We have alert response, which is customizable really to how the customer wants to handle it. So, we usually set up escalation chains and alert rules, and we are usually first ones to receive alerts from the tool. And then we go through, we look at the alerts, determine if it's something that needs to be actionable, and we notify the customer and then let them kind of decide, if they want us to handle the remediation or if it's something they're going to handle. And from there, that kind of leads into alert tuning, which is really kind of one of the biggest pains with monitoring tools is, getting too many alerts, getting a lot of false positives, or alerts that just aren't important to you and something that you can't look at all the time. So alert tuning is something we're going to handle. We're going to work with the customer every time we get something new in that, if we're not sure about it, we'll go to the customer and say, hey, we got this alert. Is this something we need to look at? And they can kind of tell us, hey, yeah, this is important. Let's look at it. Or no, you can ignore that. And we can adjust either by turning off the alert or adjusting the threshold so that we're not getting alerted as often, depending on what the alert is. So that's something that we really kind of fine tune for the customer. And it's something it's an ongoing thing that's never going to stop, because you never know if you might get an alert 4 months down the road that has never happened before. So it's just something that's good that we can handle it for you. And then last is the monthly reporting, which can honestly be done monthly. It could be done on a weekly basis or even a daily basis, but we're basically going to run some automated reports for you, get them sent over based on the information that you would like to see. And we also do monthly meetings with our customers where we go over the reports and any other, trending alerts that are happening, alert frequency. We look through some dashboards and just kind of look at the current status of your environment plus kind of what's been going on, and trying to identify, those things those little issues that might need to be looked at. Go to the next page here. So we got a table here that kind of highlights, the overall what we do with VisiScope, what we can monitor. So you have your on-prem, like Les said, we can monitor any of your on-prem infrastructure, your devices, from network servers, storage, firewalls, and so forth. We can do anything in the public cloud using one of our cloud collectors. We can monitor any of your virtualization environments or all the different hypervisors with VMware, Hyper-V, Nutanix, as well as anything in Citrix. And then you have these included add-ons, which is just kind of a bonus for having the solution. Being able to do customizable and automated reporting, having website monitoring. So if you have a internal or external facing website you want monitored, we can do that for you. The alert tuning, which we mentioned already, is included. Alert rules and escalation chains, and then workflow integration. So we integrate the tool with our ticketing system. But if you have other type of integrations you'd want on your side, whether it's through Teams or Slack or something like that, then we can always set that up as well. And then there's also customizable dashboards, which it can be customized by us, can be customized by yourself if you want to get in the tool and use it. So something to note is that a lot of other monitoring tools out there might charge you extra for some of these things, or might really only focus on a specific area like a network monitoring or server monitoring, whatever it is. This tool is going to kind of cover your whole infrastructure, which is great. Next, we have our VisiScope desktop solution. So this is our desktop management solution, and it really focuses on monitoring and maintenance of your desktops to ensure that your end users experience a productive workday without the worry of potential issues. So going down the list here, we have monitoring and alerting. We use a low footprint agent that runs across Windows and Mac endpoints using a native platform data acquisition technique. And this gives us in-depth critical insights into endpoint performance and allows us to monitor a host of information, including processors, running processes, disk and volume information, memory, software, hardware inventory, services, and event logs as well. And for alerting, we can set performance thresholds or conditions to track CPU usage, hard disk usage, or even be alerted when like a Windows server stops if you have a specific service you need to monitor. With endpoint management, computer problems don't always happen during the workday or when you happen to be on site. So our tool allows us to manage, any device on any network from wherever we are. So since no office can really afford to have an endpoint go down during business hours, we can take remediation actions without interrupting the user. And it has a suite of tools such as remote command line and PowerShell. We have script deployment, start and stop services, processes, and install and uninstall software. With remote access, we have access to devices from anywhere securely and remotely. VisiScope Desktop provides the best-in-class integrations of TeamViewer and Splashtop, and also has RDP as well. It's being added. And then VisiScope will deploy, configure, sync, and manage either of these powerful add-ons through a single pane integration. So it has support for Windows and Mac, and usually it searches and connects to the device within about 5 seconds to allow for attended or unattended access. With patch management, unpatched operating systems and software is one of the most serious cybersecurity holes facing any IT organization today. We want to rely on VisiScope to automate patching for Windows endpoints that go over and to over 120 of the most common and commonly attacked software packages, including Adobe, Acrobat, Chrome, Java, Microsoft Office, and there's a list of software packages that we can patch as well. And we can also set up, customized scan and update schedules. So we can set up automation on that as well, where we can say, if you want to scan weekly or daily, set up update schedules to apply at a certain maintenance window, then we can do that for you as well. And we want to leverage the automation for the most critical security updates so that you're not missing a patch and making sure that you're staying secure. With IT automation and scripting, VisiScope Desktop enables you to run automations behind the scenes on demand, on schedule, or in response to performance thresholds and state changes, ensuring automations run only when they are necessary and convenient. Our policy management engine provides the ability to flexibly roll out changes across organizations, sites, dynamic groups, individual endpoints, and it supports custom scripts in multiple languages with PowerShell, Batch, JavaScript, Shell script, and VB script, allowing you to automate almost any task across Windows and Mac operating systems. With asset management, we quickly determine if any device has an operating system approaching end of life, deserving of an upgrade. We can also do asset summary reports detailing Windows and Mac devices, including vendor and model, OS version, install date, uptime, and more. And then lastly, we have powerful reporting and analytics. So reporting is a critical aspect of IT management, and VisiScope is going to enable you to create detailed reports exactly how you need them with a simple yet powerful report builder tool. The report modules include infrastructure health, asset and hardware inventory, license keys, alerts and active issue reports, patch compliance, antivirus activity and compliance. So there's a number of different things that we can look at, and we usually build those reports out for our customers. We send it to them usually on a weekly or monthly basis, depending on how often they want to receive them. And then we kind of review those alerts with them too in a monthly meeting, and just making sure that everyone's on the same page with and that they know the health of their endpoint environment. So this is kind of a snapshot of a before and after with the customer that we had around VisiScope Desktop. So these are kind of the top 4 items that we needed to address with this customer. So this kind of shows before and after. So manual patch management. This is something that, depending on how many devices you have to manage, can be a really time consuming and tough to really track where everything's at. So having the automated patch management, being able to see where patches are available, what patches have been installed, that's been a huge difference by adding VisiScope Desktop. And then, no remote access. This specific customer had to go to individual PCs within, their office to troubleshoot or download software. They just didn't have the visibility they needed. So remote access and remote tools to troubleshoot from anywhere, even at home, especially with the pandemic of the last year, this really elevated their ability to provide support to their customers or their end users as they were working from home. No visibility into performance of workstations. That's another thing. Trying to be proactive and determining when things are going to go wrong. So being able to monitor and get alert notifications based on workstation performance and events is a huge benefit to be able to know when your storage is getting full, to know when CPU memory might be running high, or any other type of security to potential alerts that could come through. This is going to give you that visibility and allow you to be proactive and not reactive. Manual asset management. Another thing our customer really struggled with was tracking all the devices and software inventory that was kept, the software inventory that was on their devices. Everything was kept by spreadsheets, which I'm sure a lot of companies are either doing still today or have done in the past. But it's something that can be, it's very tedious. It's hard to track everything, and you're never going to be up to date. You're never going to be 100% real time on your asset management when you're tracking it through spreadsheets. So being able to do asset tracking of workstation software within this tool, giving you up-to-date information on exactly what software is installed on all your workstations. So if you need to deploy something, you can identify very quickly which workstations need to have that specific software on it. Or just tracking what machines you have in general and how things are operating. So having these 4 things right here alone are very key critical components to why this tool is so awesome. All right, VisiScope Managed Wireless. So this is something we've been doing for a few years now. We've recently started focusing more on the next gen Wi-Fi products with Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6 came out within the last 2 years. It's something that's kind of the next generation of where we're going with Wi-Fi. It's going to allow for high density, high performance in those high density areas. So if you're thinking like stadiums or airports, anywhere where you're having a ton of people, that's where Wi-Fi 6 is really going to be a difference maker. And this is something now that we're starting to deploy to our customers, and they're seeing great results so far. But the great thing about it, this is wireless that's going to be cloud managed. Like I mentioned, high density Wi-Fi for both indoors or outdoors. We can track wireless health. We have remote live troubleshooting tools, location analytics, and layer 7 application visibility. So announcing new VisiScope Wi-Fi as a service. Like I said, we've been managing wireless for a customer, one specific customer for a while now, and it's something that we've started to expand recently. So, we supply, when it comes to VisiScope Wi-Fi as a service, we supply all the necessary hardware and implementation services. So we're going to work with the customer to determine what their needs are. We're going to have a site survey. We'll come up with the Wi-Fi design, get approval from the customer, validate it with our vendors, make sure that everything's going to work. But we'll be the ones that kind of create and run with all that, and then we are the ones that will be implementing the wireless service, the wireless hardware as well. So going out there and actually doing the physical installations. It's managed and maintained and supported through the life of the contract. We've done 3-year, we've done 5-year contracts, so we can customize the service however we need to. And it's also moving Wi-Fi to an OpEx cost model. So, we can do this, on a monthly service charge. You can do it on a quarterly. I know that a couple down below, we said monthly, quarterly, annual payment plan. So, we're very flexible with how we can do the payment plans with this model. There's no upfront capital investments to upgrade or roll out new services. And you're going to get high performance, secure, and fully managed. So if there's ever any issues, we're gonna be the ones that handle it. So it's peace of mind. You don't have to worry about your Wi-Fi once it's deployed and everything. If you have any issues, you come to us. We'll be the ones that handle that. Layered security with Huntress. So Huntress is a product that we've added not too long ago, but it's a great product, and I feel like it's a gap area for a lot of customers. So what it really focuses on is stopping ransomware before it starts. Persistent footholds are the precursor to most ransomware attacks. And when we talk about persistent footholds, we're talking about those startup services that happen on the Windows OS. Anything that could be persistent. If you reboot your machine, it's still there. That's where attackers can come in and really get a foothold in there with one of those files, and it's very easy for them to do it and hide and not know that and for you to not know that they're there. So a lot of AVs or other security products aren't going to necessarily look for those types of footholds or things that are on your system. And the key thing is they can sit there for over 100 days, 150 days before they actually do something. So they're sitting there, they're collecting data, and a lot of times what you have a backup plan that might have only, let's say, 60 days worth of backups. and you guys get attacked and the foothold's been in there for 120 days, you can't back up to 60 days from now because you're still going to have that foothold in there. So the point of Huntress is to be able to identify those persistent footholds as quickly as possible to be able to stop those ransomware attacks. So, it comes with expert analysis and actual recommendations. So there's actually a team of people, of threat experts that are going to be able to identify, do an investigation, and identify and look through these potential incidents. And if it is something that needs to be taken care of, they're going to send you an actual remediation plan that can either be automated or you can do manually. So it's a really cool tool. It's simple and deploy to manage. You can deploy it through your current RMM if you're using one today, or we can deploy it through a Ninja or VisiScope desktop, which has Ninja RMM on the back end. And it complements your existing security stack. So this isn't really replacing anything that you probably have today. This is really going to just fit in to that security stack and complement it very well. So you can kind of see how the Huntress works at the bottom. I kind of already mentioned it. You install the agent. It's going to do a daily scan of the environment, and then try to identify if there's any type of persistent foothold. If it finds something, the threat team does their analysis and investigation. And then if they do find that it's something that needs to be addressed, then they will send you the remediation plan, and you'll be notified by that. So with Huntress, it's something that we can sell to you, and we will be the one that would kind of help manage it for you. We can be that first point of contact if you have an issue, and escalate it from there. Layered security with Cisco Umbrella. So Cisco Umbrella, you might know it more as OpenDNS is what it used to be before it got purchased by Cisco. It is a cloud security platform that provides the first line of defense against threats on the internet wherever users go. So by learning from internet activity patterns, it automatically uncovers current and emerging threats. And because it's built into the foundation of the internet and delivered from the cloud, Umbrella is the simplest security product to deploy and delivers powerful, effective protection. So some of the customer challenges, security teams deal with too many malware infections and phishing attacks, and they spend a lot of time and effort trying to detect threats and remediate after the fact. Organizations have more location devices to protect, which means they often lack visibility into all the internet activity. And roaming users and branch offices often have minimal protection and are more vulnerable to threats, especially with the pandemic and more people work from home. The threat's grown even larger. And existing security products are often difficult to manage, and they don't scale well, they aren't reliable, or they won't integrate with other products. So with Cisco Umbrella, you're going to get the best coverage. You're going to be able to protect all your devices on your network, whether it's managed and unmanaged, bring your own devices or IoT. It'll be able to protect laptops on and off your VPN, simplest security to deploy everywhere. Best protection, so we're able to stop threats across all ports and protocols. It's going to stop threats before they reach your network or endpoints, and access intelligence about malware, domains, and IPs across the internet, and easily integrates with your existing security stack. And then the best performance, so no added latency or need to proxy every connection. So it's really a simple tool. It works seamlessly with our Wi-Fi that we work with too. If that's something that you would ever consider, then we have kind of this cool integration between Cisco Umbrella and our wireless products that we have as well. Vulnerability scanning and assessment. So we use a product called Qualys that we do vulnerability scan for, and it helps you discover hidden IT assets and identify vulnerabilities before attackers do. So we do an external scan of your environment on a monthly or quarterly basis, however often you would want us to do it, or even ad hoc if you want us to just randomly just say, hey, can you do a scan for me? And from these scans, we're able to deliver a scorecard report highlighting the vulnerabilities in your environment. So they're usually done on a severity level, 1 through 5, with 5 being the most critical. And often our customers will ask us to kind of really just focus on the level 3 through 5, since those are a little bit higher level security threats. And we can go through and look and check on which ones have been potential threats, which ones are confirmed threats. It's going to give you a breakdown of exactly what the threat is, and then we can go in there and give our recommendations on how to actually go in there and remove these threats. Virtualized desktops and applications. So, with VDI environments, we can perform a monthly health check that takes, I know Les mentioned this before, it takes basically a day a month where we can look at configurations, version levels, Anything else related to performance tuning. And then we can provide a report with recommendations on how to improve your VDI environment. The customer can choose if they want us to help with making the changes or if they want to do it themselves. So, when we say, performance tuning, we can go through, we can do comparisons, especially as we do this on a monthly basis. We can look at the previous month's health check, do our, run through the environment and say, okay, here's the changes that have happened. This is the changes that need to be made to improve things, get to best practices. If there's any type of updates or upgrades that need to happen, we would assist with that as well. And then, like I said, the 24/7 monitoring, that would be there as well. And we can cover Citrix, VMware, Nutanix, as well as Cameo. If you have any questions on any of those vendors or products, then you can reach out to us as well. Business continuity. So we have two partners that we work with that we kind of focus on, HighQ and Veeam. So both do very similar things. HighQ is going to give you simplifying multi-cloud data protection. HighQ is going to integrate seamlessly with Nutanix. So if you have a Nutanix environment or if you're in a Nutanix shop today, HighQ is going to be the perfect fit for you from a business continuity and data protection platform. So we're going to manage, monitor. It can do VMware and public cloud as well. So don't think that if you're not Nutanix, you can't use HighQ. It can use these other hypervisors as well. Simple upgrades, and there's also HighQ Protege, which does their Office 365 backups, which actually covers Office 365. It covers your Teams environment, OneDrive, and so forth. And then on the Veeam side, this is a partner that a lot of our customers have used for a long time. Single backup data management platform. Same thing, manage and monitor cloud, virtual, and physical backups. We are a Veeam cloud and service provider, so we use Veeam Cloud Connect, where customers can use our 5S data center as an offsite repository if they want. And then they also offer backup for Office 365, which is something that's good to have if you aren't doing today, since Microsoft doesn't actually back up your Office 365 environment. Any questions? I know I kind of went through that pretty fast. Les, is there anything in the chat at all?
No, I don't see any questions.
Okay. All right. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or if you guys think of something after the fact, we're happy to unmute your mics right now if you want to ask anything. Otherwise, if you have any questions after the fact, you can always reach out to us. You guys should have our emails.
Yeah, other than that, I think we can go ahead and wrap up, Ryan, and huge thanks to those that joined today. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to a bit about our services.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just one last thing on the important information. If you do schedule a one-on-one call or demo with us, we would send you a 5S Arctic 20-ounce tumbler. If you sign up for any of our trials with any of our solutions, you get a 5S Arctic 36-ounce bottle. And then I just want to highlight some upcoming events that we have as well. You can always check out our website at 5stechnologies.com/events. We have Beers with Engineers. That's first Thursday of every month. We actually have the next one next Thursday, April 1st. The last day to register is tomorrow because we usually need to have about a week's time to be able to send the beer out to everyone that's attending. If you want or haven't received any information about that, then please let us know. We can send you information, or you can always go to the website, find the registration link there. We also have a really cool event coming up with Nutanix called Impress the Hard to Impress, where we're going to feature the incredible magician and mentalist R. Max Goodwin, who was on America's Got Talent. That's going to be Tuesday, April 6th from 5 to 6. So a great little event. You can have your family on there watching from home. That'll be a lot of fun. And then just wanted to note that we do have these webinars every month. We are going to try to also have a vendor-specific webinar around the different products that we offer as well. And that's going to be a little bit more random when we do those, but keep an eye out for those as well. Those are going to provide a lot of good information. And then we also have happy hours with 5S. So third Thursdays of every month. We just had the St. Patrick's Day happy hour last week that I think went really well. Les can speak to that. And then Les, do we have a happy hour tomorrow? I know it's not the third Thursday.
Yeah. No, we're gonna, next one will be, I think mid-April is when the third Thursday lands, because the first is on a Thursday, so it'll be,
Yep, April
closer to the
15th.
middle of the month, but,
Mhm.
going forward, we're gonna try and hit that third Thursday every month as our target date for the happy hour.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so if you're in the Cary area at all, and you can join, happy to get you some drinks out there. And like I said, keep an eye out for other events coming up. We do have our annual charity golf tournament coming up in September. Keep an eye out for that. And like Les said, you got his email, my email right there. If you have any questions or if you need anything else, don't hesitate to reach out.